You found the Decorating Podcast, hosted by two decorators and a microphone.
Episode 4, back again.
Here we are.
Re-recorded again because Dad got stressed with me because some of the things I said.
Not something you can't tell customers to fuck off though. That's all.
See, you just done it this time.
Yes, but
so there you go. We'll use this take now. This is the one that's going out.
Oh, for
How are
God's
we
sake.
doing?
Yeah, hello, welcome back.
We're all right. So if there is a customer or someone who's not in the trade that's listening, please just understand that this is a decorating podcast.
It's a bit of banter.
For decorators about decorating. So we may throw a few fucks in there and we may talk about customers that have pissed us off, but it's not you and it won't ever be you.
Right, it's quite...
But there are some proper fucking cunt customers out there.
There we go. There's the C-bomb. Don't
Right,
keep
one
saying the C.
That's it.
Right, I've got a thing here to use.
Go on.
What?
Use
Well,
it.
I'm not going to use it yet.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
use
right,
it later
yeah.
on. So
Every time I drop a C, you can play a little gay jingle.
Yeah, not gay either.
So what are we talking about this week?
I don't know.
You've still got topics up on the board from the last episode, so...
Well, let's, what we got?
Dust sheet versus floor protection. The
Well,
floor protection is shite.
Yes, it is
Long and short.
Yeah, Ryan's got this thing about plastic...
The plastic
floor
self-adhesive
protector.
stuff. It's just awful to apply, awful to put down,
Yeah,
never sticks.
But once it's down, it's good. It's better than dusty, shitty old dust
Once
sheet.
it's down, it's not good though, because it all pulls up on the corners when you try and hoover it up.
Yeah, but
I pulled up a floor the entire floor of this hallway the other day because it kept peeling up every time I put the hoover over it.
but the secret to do that is not to hoover on it; is to sweep it up each night.
Is what? Just to pack up your tools and fuck off out the
just
job.
Sweep it up.
That's what I normally
sweep
do.
it over with a broom and then use a dustpan.
I just don't bother anymore.
See what I've got
To be fair,
do.
that export that we were using, the cardboard stuff, that's really good. It's a
Yeah.
bit more pricey, but goes down really nice.
And the good thing is you can use it more than once.
Yeah, you can use it a couple times. We used it in a hairdresser, so you don't want to be using that again. That was gross.
And to be honest, it does make you think nowadays. Trying to be eco-friendly with all this plastic, is it?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. Like, we used the like temporary plastic. What do they call it?
What's that?
The cling cover. Stuff like that,
yeah.
the cling cover and all these like big sheets of plastic, and it's all very well and good for spraying up. But
It is good. It is a good product.
You're cutting this sheet, it's like 6 meters long and 9 foot high, and then you're just throwing it in the bin. That's going to end up in the sea, drowning not just the one dolphin. It's going to end up, choking up about a whole pod of them.
So yeah, it is.
Is it a pod of dolphins or is it a pod of whales?
That's a pod of dolphins.
Yeah. You're going to be choking up everything. So
Yes.
there must be some kind of eco way.
There will be one day a customer will ask us what we're doing with that plastic.
And we'll say we're burning it in the garden. Stop it going in the ocean.
Have you got a match? You got a match and a bit of petrol, my love?
We've had that all around us. So there's all this Extinction Rebellion shite going on up in London, and we've got a load of it down around here. I'm going to put a post on Facebook later. Graffiti removal, £5 a letter.
Yeah, it's all over. Was it? There's no Planet B.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. What does that mean?
There's no plan B. There's no plan because
there's planet.
Yeah, I know it says planet, but because
it's
we're
meant to be a
destroying
pun on that.
Yeah, because we're destroying this planet. There's no planet B.
Yeah.
There's nowhere
It's like
else
a plan
we
A,
can
but
go.
there's not a plan B.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Thank God I'm an old fucker.
Yeah.
Where's that plastic?
Where's that plastic? I want to go kill some turtles.
Anyway, today we've come back from work, and we've got some refreshment. Now I've got to tell you about this. If you fancy a beer, Beavertown neck oil is the stuff to have. Just thought I'd tell you that.
Neck oil.
Yeah, look, Beavertown neck oil. You've tried it.
Good.
It's nice.
And it is exactly 11:30 in the morning. We've not even actually gone to work yet. Just getting prepared to leave.
I'm sitting in pyjamas. Have I got a problem? No, this
It's
reminds
only
me.
a problem if you say it's a problem.
Is Byron Burger still a thing, or have they gone bust
I think Byron's still a thing.
in London?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was working in. I'm going to drop a few names here. I was working in Sotheby's.
I thought you can say working in Soho.
No, I've worked in Soho. I was working in
Bet you
Sotheby's,
have.
and the bloke we were working for took us for dinner after we'd finished a job in putting up this one-piece mural. Mural, don't say mural.
Muriel.
If you say mural, they get really upset. It's a mural. Mural, no. So we put up this mural, and he took us for dinner, which was quite nice, to a Byron Burger. And that's when I was first introduced to this, like I say, Beavertown neck oil. It's really nice. It comes in like a sort of cartoon can, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes in a tin of beer. What else are we talking about?
Oh, can I talk about my beer a bit more?
Well, yeah. How long do you want? 10, 15 minutes on describing the tin to the listener?
Nice stuff. If you fancy a beer,
You're a boring old fucker, ain't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on then, Mr. Interesting. You
all right, my interesting one. I got this little purple thing
no,
here.
you don't. Don't.
Spins around in
Ryan.
circles. No, I'm not going to say anything.
No,
but there's going to be a few listeners that'll know what this sound is.
Right, stop.
That's it. All right.
He's a little fucker.
Are you allowed to sit there drinking a beer at 10:30 in the morning?
It's not 10:30.
It's only just gone 12.
It's 2:30. And we finished work. Shut up. Right, come on.
On a Monday.
I'm waiting for this interesting...
And that's the fourth beer.
I'm waiting for this interesting conversation since my neck all is a bit boring.
Well, I thought it was a decorating podcast, so we started talking. Can you please turn, we start a podcast. Can you just turn your notifications off on stuff?
This is the second podcast this has happened, to be fair.
Yeah. And right, so that's the iPad, and now the phone.
Phone's up there, isn't it? Filming.
Oh yeah, it'd be a good idea if occasionally we were prepared before we started this.
Well, that would be a first.
Yeah.
So anyway, today's topics are going to be. Come on, Ryan.
Do you like that? How he introduced that and then dropped it square on me?
Well, we've been talking 6 minutes.
I was going to talk about. Well, I asked you to put it up there.
It's there.
Oh yeah, bloke's going weird. So. Have you ever noticed, if you go onto a job, especially if the bloke's got his missus bouncing around the house as well, sometimes it's a little bit more if they're like office bods or something like that. They get a little bit...
Oi.
Yeah, ooh, all right, mate.
Right.
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, that's good. And then they're, kind of playing up a little bit.
And they always want to tell you about the decorating they've done. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah, we went and stayed at this Airbnb the other day, me and the girlfriend, and... the electrics in the Airbnb kept going out, the fuse kept tripping, and I was like, bloody Sparkies. He goes, what, are you a Sparky? I go, nah, I said I'm a decorator by trade, and the first thing he's like, oh yeah, I do a little bit of decorating, but I'm not an actual decorator, I decorated around here, and he instantly jumped up trying to defend himself. Granted, the Airbnb was shocking, mate. It was, I told you about it last week, didn't I, where it goes from matte to silk down one wall vertically,
yeah. Say that, yeah.
Yeah, and his first thing was just jump straight up. Oh, yeah, no, I've done a little bit. We used to manage some properties, but, I'm not an actual decorator.
We spoke about this before.
Yeah, did we?
Yeah, you're repeating yourself now.
Yeah.
But
memory loss.
Yeah, he did they do that, don't they? Do get
yeah. The same, we had this engineer bloke, and he was a really nice fella, and he was obviously, quite intelligent, but as soon as you get on site with a couple of blokes, he starts getting a little bit leery and a bit jokey and
this was with you and Matt, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially back when I used to do some labouring for a bricklayer, it was a bit more noticeable there.
This is the organic building woman.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, what, am I going to tell the organic building story?
It's an organic building story.
So we went and put this little...
That's what I teed you up for.
Put it on this little porch, and put this little porch on this old building. It wasn't anything big, but then it was a knock through the hallway because we widened it up. And anyway, we'd built the outside, we were slinging the roof up, and I was helping the chippy out, and we got the roof on, the framework. And the woman comes sauntering out of her kitchen, bearing in mind she doesn't have a job, just stays at home looking after the kids. And
I think you'll find, for anybody else listening, a housewife is a job.
Is it?
Looking after children.
Women say that's a job, right?
Oh, God. What are you? Are we going back to the 70s?
Well, I mean, come on, mate.
No,
actually, we were even further progressed. In the 70s, being a housewife was all right. Now, being a housewife is like, well, you asked...
Whoa.
You asked for this. You asked to not be considered a housewife and doing all the washing and cleaning, and then you best get out and get yourself a fucking job then, love. So she comes sauntering out of her kitchen
really
after doing piss all morning, and comes to me and the chippy stood on the roof. She goes, this looks quite nice. I thought we were having a vaulted ceiling. No, not on the plan. The plan says it's just flat through. And bearing in mind that this porch extension was 1,200 wide, that's all it bought the thing out by. Said have a 1,200 ceiling higher, and then there was be about a 2-foot drop until it goes into the rest of the hall. She goes, can we have it like that though, please? And we were like, well, yeah, we might have to relook at the plans and just double check it. But I reckon we could do it. We had everything in. We were finished the roof. We were going to go home. And then she just looks at us and goes, very organic, this building, isn't it? You fucking no, it's not. It's not organic.
It's the complete opposite to organic.
Yeah, it is.
There's
a plan. You follow the plan. Even in the decorating we've got a spec. We follow the spec. You don't just fucking...
And this was the Bible in the footings one as well, wasn't
Oh yeah, so they asked us to
it? So, they teed him up again.
they asked us to bury a Bible in the footing, and we were like, well, we put the footing in about 3 weeks ago before we started building the walls, so you're a little late for that. She goes, oh, can we maybe put it in the floor? And we're like, well, yeah, but we'll have to cut a hole in the insulation to put it in, so you'll have a little cold spot in the middle of your floor. Oh yeah, if you could though, please, it would be very nice. So we cut it out, and I flicked open this Bible and had a look, and it had property, St Edward's Church, Shoreditch, London. And it's like, I'm sure in the Ten Commandments, like, I don't know them that well.
Steal.
Yeah, one of them is don't nick shit.
That is,
I'm fairly sure that's one of them.
That is true.
Maybe not worded just like that,
No.
but
Brought back. So, yeah. Customers are...
twats. Sorry if you're listening and you're a customer.
No.
You're not a
No,
twat.
some customers.
Yeah, or if you're playing this out, I don't know why you'd be playing this in someone's house, especially with us swearing and effing and jeffing.
Unless you don't want to work there.
If you can hear on the other
of-
side, customer, you're not a twat either.
Talking of, there was a thing I saw on Facebook the other day. A bloke had a problem with a customer that kept watching over him and walking in the room and just would not leave him alone. We've all had them where they just watch over you all the time. We have got the perfect answer for that. Well, Ryan's looking very puzzled, and he knows as soon as I say it, he'll think, oh yeah. What you need to do is spend about £20 on a temporary doorway.
Yeah.
They're the zip ones.
Yeah, the zip doors.
So what you do is you duct tape it all around the outside of the door frame, and then it puts to zip the door frame, and then what you can do is zip that up and just put crap in front of that. Stops them wandering in a treat, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or what I end up doing normally is they'll come in and I'll start talking at them. Because people, they either want to look over your shoulder and not really have a conversation with you, or have a conversation with you. But they don't like you just talking at them. I just ignore whatever they're saying to me, and I just carry on, and I really annoy them until they go away. But I'll be talking about like technical aspects of paint, or I'll put on a really, really boring history podcast, and they'll just end up walking out.
So, yeah, temporary doorway is the way forward. Put one of those up, block that, and zip it up. And then,
or the other way is you do the classic of shut the door behind you and then 2 bits of sandpaper in one hand and you just sit there doing that.
well, what's the point in that? That's not stopping them coming in, is it?
Yeah, because your back's against the door and they think you're working in there like that.
Yeah, but we're all self-employed, Ryan. We just sat there doing...
I'm not. I'm paid day rate from you. It's not my money that I'm wasting. It's your money that I'm wasting.
What a cock, isn't he? Every day...
You make more than enough money off of me, Mish.
Every day I go to work, Ryan comes onto the job, and this is what you hear. Hold on.
So I put on such a good show, that's why.
Very good. See, he's always got a fucking answer, little shit.
No, I don't.
Yeah, see? just like your mother. So that's keeping customers out of the room when you're working and you don't want them about.
We should have thought of some more ideas, but all right, I'll tell you what. So we have a radio show, 6 till 7 Tuesday evenings on Fix Radio.
DAB.
And I've just pulled my book out for that. I'm just going to use some ideas that we've had off of the radio.
Come on then.
We've told you about tell the story about in Woking, the King's building where they stripped you.
Oh, flipping it.
This is a good one. Years ago.
This Duke's Court in Woking. It's now a tax office.
Oh yeah, Duke's Court. I thought it was King's Court.
Yeah, it's Duke's Court. But years and years and years ago, it was when it was first built. We were there doing the office partitioning, and some of the offices was open, and the floor we were on was shut. But a few of the floors were being used, and I must have been about 18, 19 perhaps.
So it was a fair few years ago. This is like what? 1934, 1933.
You're a funny fucker. So there's me and my mate Wayne. We worked together. We're decorators, so we worked out a little team. And then my mate Paul, who was in the Navy, and he was based in Faz Lane, I think, then at that time. And he came down and had a couple of weeks off work, so he come and did a few days labouring with us. Anyway, one thing led to another. Me being gobby, I ended up with the boss and the other two jumping on me and basically stripping me. So I was running round this bloody floor with no clothes on, trying to get my clothes. So I managed to find a bit of fiberglass to put in front of me, and somehow I then ended up on the landing floor by the lifts. They chased after me. I thought, oh, good. I pressed the button, jumped in the lift. I thought I'd go up to the next floor, sort out a plan of action, and come back down. So, jumped in the lift, bit of fiberglass in front of me, old test tackles. Pressed the button to go up, and as I pressed the button to go up, the lift went down. The lift went down to the entrance lobby. Doors opened. I'm stood there, stark bollock naked, with a bit of fiberglass in front of my thing, when all these office workers
Excuse me, sir.
walk into the lift, and they just looked at me, and I didn't know what to say. So the nearest floor I could get off at, I got off at, and then went up the stairs, and then went back to get my clothes back. So yeah, it was
stripped bollock naked and sent down to the lobby.
I don't think you could get. There was another story. My mate, this is Wayne again. We worked together, and we had this poor young lad to come and give Sandy in London. We were working in Knightsbridge, and all the way up to London, Wayne pretended to be gay.
And this was back when it was acceptable to do stuff like that.
I don't think it's ever been acceptable, really. But anyway,
Well, it was a little bit more.
So-
I mean, Dire Straits say faggot in one of their songs.
yeah. So anyway, all the way up to London, Wayne pretended to be, liking boys and all that. And there's me. Look, Wayne, leave him alone. He's not interested. Leave him alone. This poor lad.
Don't touch him, the poor nipper.
Yeah. So anyway, we got we got into London, got into this flat that was empty, and Wayne disappeared off. I was left with this lad trying to tell this lad what to do. Rub this down, do a bit of that, da. And next thing I know, the door bursts open. Wayne's there, stark naked, starts chasing this young lad around the flat, saying, I want you. And you must be in. Oh, this poor lad was nearly in tears.
We got told a story by now the same lad that was. I know that wasn't Jason, was it?
No.
Yeah, but we were told a story about how this bloke locked one of their labourers in a cupboard for 3 hours. Ended up getting sued for 35 grand.
This is nothing to do with us.
No,
this
nothing
is
to
just
do
a
with
story.
us. Yeah.
The bloke we're working for, the builder we're working for, knew a bloke, didn't he?
Yeah. No, and you were like a HR employment lawyer.
Yeah. He was working for an HR employment lawyer, and this is one of her cases where the builder had locked a lad in a cupboard for 3 hours.
And to be fair, if you'd locked me in a cupboard for 3 hours, mate, I'd be banging on the door. Let me out, but I'd be sat there on my fucking phone.
I'll tell you what, I'd get locked in a cupboard for 35 grand.
Yeah, definitely.
So if anybody out there wants to lock me in a cupboard for 35 grand, no weird sex shit, but lock me in a cupboard for 35 grand, I'm your man. You up for that, right?
I'd be up for it for the weird sex shit. I reckon as well. I reckon we should get some interaction going. So tweet us at 2Dex1Mic. So the number 2 Dex, the number 1 mics.
I like that. With any questions?
And also, I want to hear a story about when you've had a job and you got there and either the customers annoyed you, just the work's annoyed you. It's one of those days where you can't get anything right, like you got a low dexterity day, nothing's working right.
Low what?
Low dexterity day.
What does that mean?
Do you know when you pick something up and you just drop it? I had a day the other day where I was painting frames.
Is that a low dexterity day?
Yeah.
That's just being a fucking idiot.
Well,
Is that what it's called now?
It's not called that. It's just I have a day where my dexterity isn't very good. I can't hold on to shit. Shit's just going wrong. It's not fucking like some snowflake thing.
Is it not? Is it something you made up?
Yeah, it's not.
It's a you thing.
Yeah, it's not like a you. See, this is the older generation. That's a thing now. Oh, I've got to get angry about it. I've got to get angry about these kids these days. No, it's just something I made up.
But why is there? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, a day where I keep dropping shit. Then there you go. How does that?
I
was just trying to be a little bit more eloquent for the fucking podcast.
Oh, you were until you said fuck.
Fuck yeah. Anyway, so
I had dexterity. I like that.
So I was just, I was painting frames. And I don't know what it was about. I just didn't have enough grip in my hands, but I kept dropping my brush. I'll brush it down.
Tell you what you had.
Slip out
you had a low dexterity day.
What's a low dexterity day?
When you fuck about and got old stuff.
I fucking lost where I was now.
So that's where you want to hear stories.
So no.
Stuff going wrong.
I don't want to hear stories of stuff going wrong. No? I want to hear.
You're very demanding.
I want to hear stories about when you've gone into a job, you tried to work for like an hour, 2 hours, and then you just thought, fuck it, turned around, got in the van and gone home.
We were going to do that, weren't we?
Did you want to keep interrupting me? Yeah, we were going to do it on the radio show, and now I'm going to do it on the podcast.
Perhaps we should have talked about this first.
Maybe.
This is quite a good one, actually, for Ryan.
Yeah, so...
And we can call
Please.
it. And we can.
Do you want to keep interrupting me some fucking
No,
more?
but I'm going to say we can. We can call it what we wanted to call it, but we weren't allowed to call it that on the radio.
What?
When you said,
Oh, what? I'm out.
yeah, or, no,
A budget or not?
No,
Which one? I got loads.
let's fuck it off or something. What you were going to call
Yeah,
it?
fuck it off. Yeah. Cause shall we start this fucking entire thing again? Right. So,
Ryan's
please
got a really
tweet
good idea.
2 decks, 1 mic on Twitter at the
That's
number 2.
Number 1.
I'm gonna fucking end up hitting you by the end of this podcast, mate. Oh.
Come on, you're doing really well.
No, I'm gonna let you get it all out your system.
No, go on. Go on.
No, I can see the look on your face. You're gonna interrupt. I
No.
know you. I know you far too well, Mush.
Come on.
So what I want you to do is tweet us at 2 decks, 1 mic, the number 2 decks, the number 1 mic, with stories about when you've gone into a job and you've not had a very good morning, wallpaper's not stripping off right, you've forgotten a certain thing,
You're not getting done what you wanted.
you're not getting done what you wanted, you're just having a really bad fucking morning, and you just got in the van and thought, sod it, I'm going home. You've told the customer that there's a decorating emergency somewhere. Someone desperately needs some emulsion put on the wall.
Going to get materials, which is always a good
Going
one.
to get materials for the next 6 hours. But please tweet us, and we, between me and Dad, are going to decide.
Going to be like Judge Grinder.
You know, what is it with you and...
Judge Rinder.
Yeah, Grinder's something completely else, mate.
Yeah, I found that on
Do
your
we
phone.
have an email address?
Can do.
Yeah, we'll set up an email address for the next episode, and we can send stories into that as well. What else have we got?
So yeah,
What about nice customers? Have we ever had any nice customers?
we got loads of nice customers. We got Jess, got Sue.
Yeah, Sue's nice.
We got loads of nice. We only.
I was trying to tee you up to tell a story about a nice customer rather than just list them all.
I tell you what. I tell you, we'll get the hang of this by the. They reckon you've got to do 8 podcasts before you actually get into.
It was 4 the other day.
No, it was 5. You may have 5 to upload onto iTunes first before you start. So we fucked that up because we got that wrong. Excuse me. That's the Beavertown neck all repeating itself. Maybe I'll get some free stuff if they keep doing this. Beavertown.
No one hears this, mate. No one hears this.
Wow.
Even the people that are dedicated listeners have turned off by now.
So I'm going to tell you a story about Sue. We had a job to do for Sue. It was a lovely lady. She left us alone. She went to Australia for Christmas, and we were going to spray her. Well, no, we did spray her kitchen units. So we decided that we'd need some anti-knocks for the floor to cover to cover everything over. So we had a look, trying to find some.
On the old eBays, on the tinters, having a little scat around.
And I had a look round, and I found it for I had a look round. It was like £2.75, £2.95, all that, you know. Anyway, on eBay, found it for £99 a sheet. I thought that is
£99?
99p a sheet. I thought there is the stuff. That's ideal. So ordered it. I think I ordered about 20 sheets, didn't I?
Yeah.
So ordered that.
3 or 4 days later, we get a knock on the door from the Amazon man.
Well, the missus phones up. It wasn't Amazon, but anyway, the missus phoned me up. She said, got a delivery for. I said, you all right with the sheets? Yeah. She said, it's fine. She said, I've sorted it all out. So anyway, come home. I said, oh right, where's this anti-knock? She said, oh, it's over there.
Hands you a box.
Hands me a box, and
What's this?
what I thought was sheets of anti-knocks. Well, they
6x9s.
Yeah.
6x4s. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the big 6x4 sheets of anti-knocks.
Yeah.
Dad opens up this little box about foot by foot square.
Yeah. They're like bloody
20 samples of anti-knocks. When there's a punchline, don't mumble it. Don't, if you've got a punchline, that's what it's called, a punchline, because it's quite a ha. Just and then it turns out that they were little foot by foot squares. You don't fade out. You want to end big.
Oh, I got my finger now. I could use that.
Yeah. Go on.
I ain't got it now. I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
We won't
If
use
you
that.
use it, I'll get to say the C word again.
No, I'm not going to use it then. There's quite enough of that going
So I hope you enjoyed that really riveting story
That was a
there with a
shit
great
story, wasn't
punchline.
it?
Yeah, you didn't tell it very well.
No, sorry.
Normally you're a little bit more of a storyteller than that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
What we've been using recently, I used one of those cheap Chinese airless sprayers the other day, like an import one. I don't know what style
We
it was.
spoke about that before, didn't we? Because
Did we?
I was going to go and try and use that Chinese airless.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything with the Chinese air-assisted airless, if there's anything like the actual the airless, it's all right, but not great. Probably better off buying the Audi airless.
Audi?
Yeah.
Oh, the one on... Did you ever get to see that?
I didn't ever see it, but I know they're there.
Microphone a bit closer. Why did you do that? People don't like that.
You asked me to be closer to the microphone, and
I
that's
asked
what
you to belch in the fucking
that's what
thing,
I was
going to
do.
You.
That's why I pushed the microphone away.
Better. Oh, yeah. Look, go on then. What else we got in your book?
You've got a bigger book than me.
Yeah, but I haven't got
these are a lot of these are old radio topics as well.
Yeah, but if you haven't heard the radio show, we can
What's
use
the
them.
McCarthy and Stone story you got?
What was that?
I don't know. I've just got McCarthy and Stone written down here.
Oh, that's to do when I started. That was me and Wayne again. How I got into decorating, wasn't it?
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. It's not a very interesting story.
Well, my one's about Coke. There was the water damage in 4 marks, where I got away with that on a little simple one.
That's a rubbish story.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been in the game about 2 years. I don't really have many interesting stories. There's a story about the time when I was back doing labouring where we hid a shit in the ground workers' van for the entire afternoon. That was fucking funny. Well, okay, so we were doing
I'll
this.
tell you what, Ron, you tell the shit story. I'm going to try and find something to bring this podcast back up a level from the fucking gutter.
You bump your mic down. It's just going to be me and you for a little bit, listener, here. Remember, you're on 2, yeah. Just me and you for a bit, listener. So anyway, I've not always been with Dad. Occasionally, I was a labourer for a bricklayer / ground worker type bloke. It was good laugh and did have some good fun. I think it instilled quite a few good, a bit of a work ethic in me. Yeah, soon lost that working for Dad, realising he's robbing me of my wages each day. But we were doing this big build. It was 3 shops along the bottom, and then there were 6 flats above it. And we had about a metre out the front of the site that we could use that wasn't taken up by the building. It was right on the road. So the project manager of this job, we'd got the portaloo taken out because by the time we put the shop fronts in, we couldn't have a portaloo on site because there wasn't any room. So the project manager has a shit in this resin-bound driveway tub. Empty, obviously. So anyway, his labourer comes out and taps me and goes, "Here, mate, Joe, the project manager, has just had a shit in this bucket. He wants you to go and hide it in Matt, my boss's van." He goes, whatever you can do to, because we had to park up the road, because this was on a main road, so we had to park on this little side road. He goes, try and take the bucket up there and get it in the back of his van and leave it in there. But Matt went out to get some materials, come back to the site, and I said to one of the other labourers who'd just started on the firm, I said, "Mate," I said, "I don't care what you ask him out." I said, "Just get him away from his van for about 30 seconds. I said, "That's all I need you to do is just get him away. Ask him how to fucking sweep up or something like that." So I see Matt pull back up, and I see this little labourer wander out and ask him a question and pull him into the job. So I quickly dropped whatever I was doing. I think I was on a little Kango taking up some tarmac. So I quickly dropped the Kango. I run and grab this bucket of shit. I put it in the back of his van, and I put one of his jackets just over the top, but there was a little gap there, just to let enough of the air out, and I pulled the rest out, and I closed the guy. "Oh, Matt, I've unloaded the van for you, mate. No worries, you can go park it back up." So he drives it back up the road, plonks it down there. We're working away for the afternoon. This must have been at about 12:30 that we'd done this. So we had our lunch, and then I think Matt went out to get some more materials. About 3:30, he comes back to the job. He opens up the side of his van, lifts out, flicks off this jacket, and you just hear, "Whose fucking shit is this in the back of my van?" Instantly, he turns around, looks at me, goes, "You've done this? You put this in here?" And this bloke was the biggest piss taker on site, and he got so aggro when he found this big log in the back of his van. And apparently he was driving down the road thinking it was all the fart smell coming out of the foam in his seat. He was quite enjoying the stink. It was in like fucking June, July, so it was all getting nice and hot and toasty in the back of his truck. Oh, funny as. Anyway, Dad's back. He's got his headphones on. He sat down again. Have you got a better story than that? Or have you got something better to talk about?
Yeah, I think I have, actually. I've
Good, because I need a drink.
It's when you're talking to a customer on the phone and they say one thing and what they really mean. Like, you know, we've only got a small budget. You know,
means we're not going to pay you much anyway.
Yeah, it means they're going to go. They're going to really go for like we've only got a small budget. Means we're going to go for the cheapest quote we can possibly find.
Well, then, unfortunately, my dear, I don't think you'd be able to afford our services.
Well, you know, and the other one is, you know, you're on the phone. Would it be cheaper if I helped?
Never. It will never be cheaper unless you're a retired decorator.
Yeah, exactly.
It will never be easier for you to help. Or a chippy and you need skirting put on, something like that.
We've been to some jobs where I've done the filling for you. Oh,
no, you haven't.
I wish you. Well, they have. I wish you hadn't though, because it's like it looks like they've iced a cake.
Yeah.
No, this is my favourite one as well. Have you ever?
You're getting through these rapid. Don't run out.
Well, no, it's all right. No, the favourite one is we'll supply the materials.
No, you won't.
Well,
we will.
No, they can. I'll let them supply materials, but I'll always add on a bit in case they let you down. Because you know what I mean. We know what materials work, don't we?
Yeah. Our entire job is to know what we're putting on and how to put it on. Like,
and they're employing you as a decorator, as a professional, as the expert.
Yeah, we're trying to get away from the idea of people employing us just as paint pushers.
Yeah. So
that's actually quite a minimal part of the job. Even if you take the business side of painting and decorating out, applying paint isn't exactly a huge bit of what we do, is it?
It's like us taking steak to a bloody restaurant and saying, "Oh, by the way, can you cook that for me?"
we supplied our own. Yeah. We supplied our own ingredients.
I've got some carrots there and some potatoes. Can you put them on as well?
Yeah, can we just pay the 20 minutes that the chef's cooking it for, please?
You just don't do it. And like I say, I don't do it. When people say that, I rapidly lose interest unless I can talk them around, because no.
Or you go into that spiel of, we know what we're using. Yeah. We know what's better than you do.
It's because nowadays they think, they're saving 10pence by buying their own materials, and they're not. But then if you tell them it's going to need an extra 2 or 3 coats and they're going to pay the labour and it's going to cost them more, well, they just don't see it that way. So,
or what you do is you hide the price of actual materials in the job, let them give you a tin, and then take that same tin out to the van and pour in some of what you actually want to use each time.
It's the easiest.
Yes, we're definitely using Fire and Ball, my dear. No problem.
The easiest thing is just to say no, you're not going to do it, because it just leads to trouble. It's just easier if you use materials that work. You just don't need to be bloody using Wilco's paint.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think that falls back onto a point that I've harped on about on here quite a bit, which is educating the customer. You need to show them what's what. I was working on this job away for Dad for the past couple of days, and I was just kind of showing them why these things are better than all the other things. So we put amphibolin on the walls, and they were all stood there, and I walked up to them with a wet rag, and I said, I just wanted to show you what's
spoke
what.
About this before.
Did I?
Yeah, in the last podcast.
Right, go on then, keep going. You're rattling off lists of stuff, and we're not actually talking about it.
Yeah.
A lot,
so the insurance companies.
What about them?
Want a quote from the insurance company? That's another one that you never ever get to hear anybody about.
No, we don't really do much of that. They do. You
because
don't bother going out and quoting them.
No, because I charge 50 quid to go and have a look.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to do that now as well.
That nips that one right in the bud.
Yeah.
Because that's all it is. All you do is go out there, and it's a complete waste of time, because the customer keeps a quote. You never hear from them again.
Yeah, unless you tell them, I'll bump the price up by X amount, and you can keep that as cash.
Yeah, no, I just don't. I'll just say it's 50 quid to come out and supply a quote, and if we get a job, you get your 50 quid back. Oh, I thought it was 3 quotes. Yeah, but it isn't 3 quotes for insurance.
It's 3 quotes for you, not 3 quotes for the insurance company.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the top one is it's only a day's work.
Oh, are you just rattling off a list of things you don't want to hear from customers?
Well, no, it's just the thing that customers saying it. Oh, yeah. It's only a day's work. Oh, it's only 5 minutes. While you're here, could you just do that?
Could you just quickly, while you're there, do you mind?
Yeah. Is it okay if you could do? And you think, well, yeah, but it's still time and money.
Yeah, I used to be real bad for it, but I've gotten better now.
Yeah,
I've got a lot better. My thing now is I think you have to speak to Dad about that one, because I'm not sure what's on the quote.
Exactly. Well, no, actually, we've started using job sheets now with the quote actually printed on the job sheet.
Yeah, not the quote, but like a rundown of the spec in it. It's not. You don't give me the full quote.
No, but it gives you the spec of what you need to be doing.
Of what we're doing and where.
Because it's just easier. Then Ryan knows exactly. Well, we both know, because I 9 times out of 10 I forget. We've got such a booming fucking business that we just forget what we've got to do sometimes. What do we come here to do again, Father? What I was going to say was we've got a 3-month lead time. So between me looking at the job and actually getting there to do it, it's 3 months, and it's a lot happens in 3 months, and it's a job sometimes. Remember what you actually did quote.
Why the fuck are we here again? To rock up to a job on Monday. Are we doing the outside or the inside? What room is it? Fuck.
That's why we've got the
That's why we've got job sheets.
fucking idiot.
So
yeah.
from your loins, mate.
So yeah, that's the sort of warning signs, I think, or warning, or things
Yeah.
you don't really want to hear from a customer when you first go to see them, and or they've talked to you on the phone. It's just you think, oh, hang on a minute, we're probably not going to be. What's that? There's not going to be much synchronicity. That's a good word, isn't it? When you both.
What does that mean?
It means.
What's that? Is that some new millennial thing?
No, it's an old-fashioned thing. When you mesh, when you work together.
Mesh.
You know what I mean? Shut up. So
Was that your entire 5 minutes out looking for stuff? Was that it?
It wasn't 5. Your story wasn't 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe not.
It wasn't.
What else have we got on the board? Merca. What does Merca mean? Did we talk about that?
If you
Was that in the game changing? We need to start doing these podcasts maybe a little bit more spaced out in between them so we can come up with some new fucking content.
That's right. It's just. What do you mean?
Well, I hope these people are enjoying that we talk about stuff going, we talked about that.
Yeah. No, you're the one that's going to be that keeps talking about it, not me.
Well, otherwise you're just going to be carrying on about your fucking tin of beer for the next 15 minutes.
Beavertown Neckle. Did I mention that? I tell you what. If I don't get a sponsor for this, I'm going to be so disappointed.
A sponsor for what?
No, I need just a crate for that turn up.
I was trying to give you an opportunity.
Oh.
You're not very good at
No.
this, are you, mate?
Not really, am I?
I think we should stick to the decorating.
I'm glad I'm better with the brush.
I can guarantee that people are listening to this in their vans on the way into work this morning thinking, I could do a fucking podcast. This is shite.
Merca. We've got to talk about Merca. If you haven't got a Merca,
It's completely game changing.
no, seriously, that is a
Seriously,
game
that is
changer.
game-changing.
A Merca is a game changer.
Yeah, the Merca is good. The other thing that I'd have to give a good byproduct of that Merca is the Nilfisk Hoover. Like, going from using shitty, like, whatever it was, like Dyson ones.
Henry.
Or Henry. Not Henry, because I like the bag. The bag ones are good. It's the Vortex ones, you know, the bagless vacuums. They don't handle, like, large debris well. But that fucking Nilfisk Hoover is spot on for clean up.
And the Nilfisk is exactly the same as the new Merca.
Except blue.
The Nilfisk is blue and the Merca, it's made exactly the same factory apparently, but it's just different colours.
injection moulding in the different colour in the injection moulding.
So for 150 quid.
But I mean, I get this off of people sometimes because you know you do rub down a little bit of filler steel by hand or like doors and skirting and stuff, and you always get that's the bit I couldn't stand about decorating is all the sanding down, and I'm thinking we got the Merca within about 3 or 4 months of me working for you, so I've never had to really go through the struggle of rubbing shit down.
Well, we went to the paint shack to this spray thing, like I might have said before. Have I mentioned that before?
Yeah.
That Colin did a spray day.
Paint shack, Windlesham.
Yeah.
The source for Caparol paints in the UK.
Did a spray day for people that wanted to get into water-based paints, and he was the one that said that before you get a sprayer, you need to get a.
They follow on quite well, don't they?
Because I mean, it does. At the time, I didn't really. I thought, well, why do I need a dustless sander first before I need a sprayer? And it's just because
you leave such a nice finish.
Yeah, and with spraying, if you've got a load of dust, well, look at Matey down at Cane Adam.
Yeah,
there's a local builder to us that bought a
GX21 thinking, oh yeah, this looks like the shit. He's just a builder. He's not a painter, was he? He's just a builder.
He's a building company, and he absolutely shagged
out that sprayer. Yeah, sawdust all in the pump. It was everywhere.
Because the bloke, Richard, the manager down there, got a phone call from him saying it's not working. So
this is shit. It's not working.
Yeah, so then Rich went out there to see it, and it was just they were
open 10-litre tubs of paint while the chippies are cutting MDF right next to it.
They were spraying walls, and as they come down to the bottom of walls, it just bellowing clouds of dust up. Yeah. That was getting in the paint. That was clogging up the filters and clogged up it absolutely fucked the machine, didn't it?
Yeah, properly.
They ended up giving them a new GX21. So, yeah, you do need a clean environment to use a spray or a cleaner.
Exactly. But it's even nice. You know, you take it into a customer's house, and they're there, and you've got this Hoover going off and the sander going. Oh, what's all that noise? And you actually show them, they're like, oh yeah, actually it's quite nice. It's another thing of showing them why
They're
we've
paying
cost so
extra.
much money to do it.
Like,
Because we give all of this extra service.
like I say, it's not cheap. It must have cost us about $1,000, I suppose, because we got the Hoover, the
2
valve.
markers.
Yeah, we want to get the Leros, don't we?
Yeah. The wool one, because we got the Deros, the
Ceros.
the circle one, the square one, and we want to get the ceiling one.
Yeah, the wool one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
be
quite
good.
good.
We did a video for Dulux a while back, and we did ask the Merker man to
Using some shite
what? Oh, that.
diamond mat.
Yeah.
We have talked about that though.
Oh, well done. Yeah, it wasn't good. There
No.
was definitely an art to using diamond. Anyway, we asked the Merker man if we could you borrow a Leros for the day, and unfortunately he took it back, didn't he?
Yeah, we did try. No, we
were
did
hoping
try
he'd
and
forget
keep it as best we could.
Yeah.
I had to take it back to the Decorators Centre in Farnborough. I went in there and they said, "Oh no, we don't know anything about it." And I was
Perfect.
sorely
We'll
tempted
keep
to go, "Yep, thank you very much. Don't worry about it. Then I'll arrange it and then just keep it in the back of the truck for a
Yeah,
bit."
we'll have that then. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
Thank you.
But no, it's definitely worth, if you're going to, like I say, get into spraying, or even if you're not getting into spraying, you want your prep to go up
it's
like
just
tenfold.
it leaves a nicer finish. It's easier. There's less cleanup. It's a big investment initially, but you make that investment back in no time.
And what you'll find is your prep will go. Like I say, your prep will go. You'll be prepping
Yeah.
stuff you don't even wouldn't thought of doing before.
Yeah, like if we've filled up a wall and if it's like a little worse than average, I'll just sand the entire wall down just to denib all of it, and then when we go back over the top, it's a nice flat surface to work off of.
So yeah, that is definitely something worth. Like I say, saving your money and definitely worth investing into a Merker.
Yeah,
Without a
definitely.
doubt.
Definitely.
So,
A lot of people go for the Festool, but Jesus, we're not chippies. We don't have much money.
Yeah, but do we?
What?
Some people use it Festool, but
Yeah, I think there is advantages to the Festools, but there's also advantages to the Merker.
and the good thing is, it's now near the end of October. At the end of November, you've got the painted decorating show in Coventry, and I'm sure there'll be a few deals going up there.
Yeah, a few deals, and at least you'll be able to try them out as well while you're there.
Yeah. So and you've got a month to save up.
Yeah. Also think it would be a good idea if you are listening. And again, the Twitter is at 2decks1mic.
All numbers.
Yeah, the 2 and the 1 are numbers. Tweet us with what you want us to talk about. Anything, how we work, what we do, what we've done, what we
Yeah, that's a good
know.
idea.
Any stories or anything you want
we
to know
could have
about
talked-
us, that sort of thing.
Apart from when it comes to Ernie Knox, we're not very good at those stories. That was a
you know,
shit
not
story.
stories kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Kind of
So anyway, we're fast
Um,
approaching 45 minutes.
Oh, we actually.
What have we learnt today? What
we've learned
lessons
today
have-
is that I say we just kind of jump into it most times, and maybe we do need to do a little bit of prep for the show. I think maybe that's what we've learned.
We've also learnt that Ryan's memory is not as good as it was.
Yeah,
Also, we've learnt that don't buy anti-knocks off the internet.
yeah. I think Dad's putting the video of this podcast up on his YouTube channel as well. So
Are we?
Dad's Instagram is
TJ Decorating. Oh, at TJ
there.
Decorating.
He's lining you up. I'm at S&D_decorating.
And like I say, we've got a YouTube channel at TJ Painting and Decorating. What else we got? We've got the Twitter, which we've mentioned.
Yeah, the Twitter 2D1M. For this show, I reckon we should have Hunter. If you got to the end,
Yeah.
and if you watch the video, you'll know why it's Hunter as well.
You cock.
Amsterdam is a lovely city, though.
Right, anyway, Ryan's going now.
Lovely. I've got to go into the garden and see my friend Mary.
We'll speak to you soon.
Peace.
Cheers.